It's October 31st, 2016. Happy Halloween, everyone. I'm bringing warnings and watches from October the 31st till November the 4th, 2016. This part is weather in North America and any strange weather around the world. First off, we're going to start off with space weather because space weather got to do a lot with our energy fields, our electrical storms. They charges up storms on Earth from CMEs and solar winds that hit the Earth. Right now, there ain't no ARs or any CME. The sun is actually pretty quiet, kind of rare at this time of year. But we are inside still a coronal hole that's leaving, and we'll probably leave around November the 2nd. But right now, Earth is inside a stream of solar winds flowing from this wind coronal hole, as you can see. So from October 31st, 24 to 72 hours, till November the 4th, storms will still increase inside. And on the other side of the sun, we can't see it. I need a better. I need to actually do this kind of stuff on my computer, but we'll be entering another coronal hole with a lot of CME starting next week around the 5th, the 6th, and the 7th. Let's get into the Atlantic infrared radar zone, see if we see any tropical storms, hurricanes, or now as we're moving to the winter month and in the northern hemisphere, we can see northeasters. So let's get involved in that. So as I'm checking out the Atlantic infrared radar, right now it seems kind of quiet, even though we don't see nothing major coming off of the coast of Africa between 10 north and 20 north. There's a little system, most likely won't form into a tropical system. That's the end of it right there. It's between 45 west and 30 west right there. This thing might turn, get a little bit stronger, and become a tropical storm. The chances of that happening is 20% because this system right here is pushing at it. All right, and it's moving it more eastward, so it's destroying it and killing it with the wind shear. As we move over here to the Dominican Republic, south of Dominican Republic and Haiti, we do see strong intensified storms, and right around northeast of Puerto Rico, we see strong system, and that does have actually the system around Puerto Rico and the one underneath Haiti and Dominican Republic. They both got a 50-50% to become one of our last tropical storms of the season. As we move over around right here in Central America, as you can see this system, it is heading towards shore around Costa Rica, Nicaragua. All right, that is a strong system, and if it could pass through this little piece, staying that strong, when it gets to the Pacific Ocean, this will definitely turn into a tropical storm. Down here, off of Panama and stuff, you got a lot of strong storms down there. Most likely, they won't turn to hurricanes, but if this system out here in the open, right here, 90 west, right underneath, right by the equator. This has a potential of becoming a tropical storm. Now here in the Gulf of Mexico, this system by 90 west and 85 west, right in the center, this has a 20% chance of becoming a tropical storm. And I am actually kind of amazed on reporting this right now because most of the time, I'd say that the Atlantic is quiet and there ain't nothing to worry about. Most of the time, that's right. But we got one storm here in the Gulf of Mexico that might turn to a tropical storm. You got one storm right here off the tip of Central America that's hitting a pretty powerful. It ain't a tropical storm or hurricane yet, but if it passes and stays strong like that as it's growing, it's going to definitely become a tropical storm in the Pacific Ocean. The system right down on 90 west, right by the equator right here, has a very, very strong potential of becoming tropical storms, and so does these clusters down here around Panama and stuff, folks. The reason the system above, underneath Haiti and Dominican Republic could become tropical storms, how powerful it is. And there's actually a vortex right here too around between Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic. And this system could have a chance out here by Africa right here. But this system up here is pushing it, and it's way bigger, and it's eating it up. But it still has a chance, like I said, 20% chance. Let's go look at the Null Skull map. The reason I said the one storm off Africa between 10 and 20 north has a chance is because there's actually a really strong cell within that storm. It does got 10 to 20% chance, and you see how it's a little bit darker green than everything around it. Like I said, there's only a 20% chance of this actually becoming a tropical storm. Now, as we move towards the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico right here, you can see that system turning right here. All right, there's a lot of wind. All right, you got the system right here that's coming off at the below where I was showing you before of Dominican Republic and Haiti is getting full fuel with energy, but it's going to be sucked up by this central system right above Puerto Rico. So that's why I gave that storm a greater chance of becoming our last tropical storm, one of our last tropical storms. Down here on the Atlantic side, you can see the Pacific Ocean pushing north while the Atlantic Ocean's winds pushing east. Now that one system that we see is up here, and you see how green it is, and it's getting pretty strong, and it's making landfall. It's not a tropical storm or a hurricane, but it's strong. If they could keep sucking all that energy from Atlantic Ocean when it makes it to the Pacific strain, it's just going to suck up the Pacific while the Atlantic current's wind is pushing it down. And you can see right here in the middle how it's going to push it down. So right here, if they could make it to the Pacific, got a great chance of becoming a tropical storm. Same with that system that's right here. That's off the coast. That's on 90 West. It has a lot of energy behind it. And that's the division point. It could turn to a circular motion anytime. Alright, and then you got all these strong little systems right here at the tip of Venezuela, Colombia, Panama that's coming off. And their strong storms hitting the coastline. Alright, folks. So we got a lot of stuff to look at in these last weeks of hurricane and tropical storm season. Alright, so in the next few weeks, we're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and we're looking north for storms that come on coast around Washington, Oregon, upper north Vancouver, and we're going to have a lot of strong storms that's going to be coming through. Alright, we're at that time, fall season, and the leaves are turning. We're going to see storms with a lot of wind to bring down those leaves. Alright, and in 14 days from now, so around November the 14th, 15th, we're going to start seeing snow in the northwest and around Wyoming, Idaho, because a lot of systems from the Pacific is moving over. Now, there's a lot of energy, and we've seen a heartbreak over Hawaii the other day, and I actually made an emergency video. There's a lot of energy going towards eastern, basically, the western part of the Pacific Ocean, that is the beginning of the east, by Indonesia, Taiwan, the Philippines, and actually 7 to 14 days now, around November 13th, 14th, I believe we will see another typhoon that's going to hit the Philippines and Taiwan. And it's from these circular motions out here. And it's not just on this. It's also on the Mimic map because there's so much energy in microwave also from our solar winds, and we did have little geomatic storms from little CMEs, and I believe the Philippines, Indonesia might experience a typhoon in between the next 7 to 14 days, folks. So if you live out there, be prepared. All right. And if you live down here in India, around the Indian Ocean, it's building up. All right. The energy level, the wind level is building up. All right. Down Indonesia and India. Even though it looks quiet, you can see this system of air is pushing it all down. All right. Because now the southern equator is entering summer. All right. So we see more tropical storms and all that stuff. As you can see, it's starting to push up around Indonesia, northern of Australia. All right, so be prepared. Now let's look at the Pacific, where the United States of America is. Like I said, within 14 days, around November the 14th, 13th, we're going to start seeing snowstorms hitting the United States. All right. Now this system right here at 40 north, all the way out at 160 west, in 3 days, and 3 to 4 days, is going to make landfall on the west coast. All right. And depending by then, on November the 4th, I'm going to do another weather video. Right now we got mild air. We're still in the 60s where I'm living. Actually, it should be 50s, 60s normal. Low at night, down in the 30s and 40s, right? No snow yet. We do have frost advisory and stuff. But this system, all these systems out here in the Pacific Ocean is going to bring in that cold front. And also our jet stream is going to dip down. So we're going to start seeing snow, folks. I want everyone out there to be prepared. When we go to current map, we do got a lot of heartbrings. And I'm going to give you guys the next till November the 4th warnings and watches. First, we're going to start off with the heartbrings. All right. Newfoundland and Quebec and Vermont. All right. In Newfoundland right now. All right. You guys got heartbrings. So major storm, 24 to 72 hours. Upper Quebec right up here. Warnings and watches next 24 to 72 hours. All right. The system here in Ontario, right in the center, you can see the heartbring. Warnings from now to 24 to 72 hours for major storms. All right. We don't have to worry about no storms yet down here in the Midwest for at least another 4 to 5 days. Scattered rain showers, 10%. But mainly is going to be cloudy, sunny. Don't worry about rain. All right. If you live around Buffalo, New York, and Syracuse, there's a heartbring. All right. So warning from now, the 24 to 72 hours for a major little system to hit. Can't be nothing big unless this is being pushed down by our jet stream. And at the edge of Ontario, you can see another heartbring. So warning from now to 24 to 72 hours. As we go to the Dakotas, warnings and watches from now to 24 to 72 hours for moderate to major storms. As we go to Idaho and Seattle, definitely around Seattle, Washington, and northern Oregon, warnings and watches now to 72 hours for major storms. And you can see some snow, but that's higher elevation. Vancouver got a heartbring, warnings and watches next 24 to 72 hours on the border of Washington and Idaho. Warnings and watches next 24 to 72 hours, including now up to 24 to 72 hours. Nebraska, when we go down here around Utah and Colorado on the border, Colorado border and Utah border, warnings and watches for storms next 24 to 72 hours. Then we got NextRad that's popping up, zipping storms, so it keeps it dry. Warnings and watches for Northern California next 24 to 72 hours. And off the coast of Central California. See a heartbreak, so warnings and watches for moderate to major earthquake next 72 hours. Now we're talking about hurricanes. Let's see if we see any heartbrings over here. You see a heartbring where there's a chance that a tropical storm might pop up right off the coast of Mexico and southeast of Texas, Houston area, Austin. Warnings and watches next 24 to 72 hours. Down here in Florida, we are straight at the moment. Yeah, there's a lot of NEXRAD zapping stuff out the air, but most part the south is going to be clear until November the 5th, 6th, and by that I'm going to give you guys an update. Up north, if you live in the northeast, you guys will see a storm in the next 48 to 72 hours. Rain, sleet, major thunderstorm. If you live in Buffalo, around Syracuse, warnings and watches for moderate to strong storm. Alright, this is the No Face Movement. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And one more thing before I go about the Mimic map. I forgot to show you guys the Mimic map. Alright, about that system out here. Alright, you can see a system starting to spawn off right here. So I'm putting warnings and watches, like I said, for the next 4 to 5 days for a typhoon to start up around this area. Look how dark, look how much microwave energy. This thing was light like this. We had a heartbreak the other day around California, Hawaii, and it got zapped over towards the Asian, the south, towards the South Chinese Sea, around Indonesia, New Zealand, all the way down here to northeast Australia. Look how powerful that water is. That's why I'm putting warnings and watches for the next 7 days, 4 to 7 days for the beginning of a typhoon. Alright, we are going to see a typhoon there. Alright. And when you come up here, we ain't got nothing to worry about. You just could see right there. Boom. It's starting to get stronger, where there's a possibility that we might have a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that system hitting middle Central America, and if it could sustain that, when it makes it down here to the Pacific, it's going to gather up all that energy. Alright, where the dark red is, that's intensify electricity in the clouds. Alright, and where the storms are, it's even darker. Alright, so everyone out there, be prepared. This is No Face Movement. Please rate, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Facebook. This is the movement, moving. Until next time, facing off.